Hey rockers, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell by the sound of my voice, I still have this super bad clogged up head cold issue happening. But I'm on day 2 of my antibiotics and I'm drop dead tired right now and I don't feel well. But it just hit me that I had a story that I had to share before I crashed off to Never Never Land. Listen man, about 5 months ago I made a story about DEXTER, ROMWEBER, and the Flat Duo Jets, and seeing them and meeting them in Chicago at the Cabaret Metro in 1987. That was a fun video. Now listen, if you're a fan of DEXTER, ROMWEBER, or the Flat Duo Jets, you can go to my other channel, The Church of Rock, all one word, The Church of Rock, and you can find my interview with DEXTER ROMWEBER from 87 on there, from Chicago. You can also find the complete recording from the Flat Duo Jet show from that night on that channel. And on this very channel, you can go under the video section, scroll down until you find a video that says something about when I met the Flat Duo Jets and saw them play Chicago, 1987. And at the end of that video, I told everyone I was going to do part 2, which was the next time I ran into the Flat Duo Jets. And I decided, you know what? I don't even have any notes or anything. I don't have a set list. I don't even have an exact date. I can tell you this, though, before I get started. Back in 1992, when I met my future wife, Tracy, a.k.a. Sister Tracy, oh, my light just died. My lamp just went out on me. See that? The light just changed. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That sucks. Let me see. Wow, with the flick of my switch, with a flick of my foot, I was able to get that light back on. Okay. Man, I'm having a bad memory night, you guys. This is funny. The head cold, man, it really messes with one's memory and thinking. It's like very bad congestion. Jesus. Listen, man, what was I saying? So I met my future wife, Tracy, back in 1992. And about 9 months to the day later, we ended up having our daughter, Audrey. Shout out Audrey. She watches this channel. Well, when Tracy met me, I was living in a very, very poor neighborhood, a very rough neighborhood where there was, a lot of violence and gang activity. I was drinking myself into a coma almost every single day, starting at whenever I woke up to whenever I passed out. Well, when I found out she was pregnant, she actually said to me, if you don't want to be a father because the way you live, if you're not willing to be a better person and be a father, you don't have to be. But tell me now, and I'll never tell another person who the father is. It took me about 5 seconds before I said, what kind of person do you think I am? Well, after that, I decided to get my crap together. I moved us out of that rough neighborhood into a very good neighborhood, not a rich neighborhood at all, but to a little place in Peoria Heights, Illinois, outside of Peoria, Illinois. Pretty cool little neighborhood. One night, while Tracy was home with our baby, Audrey, I decided, and after I had found out, there was a great show going on in Bloomington Normal, Illinois, which was about 45 minutes away from Peoria, Illinois. And it was none other than the Flat Duo Jets, the people I wrote to back in 83, and then I went and saw them in 85, and now here we are, 1993 is the date we're going back to now. Audrey was sleeping. Tracy said, hey, go ahead and take the drive to Bloomington Normal, Illinois, and see your buddies, the Flat Duo Jets. That's cool, no problem. So I did. I went there alone. I don't remember the club. And if you were there, please, in the comment section, tell me what club the Flat Duo Jets played at in Bloomington Normal, Illinois in 1993. So I get to the club, and I'm excited as hell, right? I get there, and the band just went on right kind of when I walked in. So I was just rocking out to DEXTER ROMWEBER on guitar and vocals. There he is standing there, the legend himself, the genius in my mind. And what a talent, DEXTER ROMWEBER up there with his short hair. I forget what he was wearing, but he had his soul dual tone. I'm trying to think of the type of guitar. Silver tone, his silver tone guitar. Haha, screw you, memory. Anyway, he's playing his Silvertone black guitar. He's up there. He's got a regular mic stand, but at the top of it, the microphone is one of those big old school like Elvis microphones that you'd see in the 50s. It was rad because these guys are like rockabilly punk, like, I don't know how to explain it, but more rockabilly than punk, but rockabilly with a punk energy. And on drums, the one and only Crow with his very minimalistic drum kit. It was just the two-piece, the duo. That was the Flat Duo Jets. Now, later, they did add a bass player for a while, and then, of course, things fell apart. There's a great documentary that's out about the Flat Duo Jets. You can find that online or on YouTube. But, 93, I walk in the club, the band's playing. When they took a break, I gave them about 5 minutes to get a drink and relax for a minute, and then I walked up to them and I said, "Hey, guys, what's up?" And they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I go, "Remember me?" And they're like, "You look familiar." Very familiar. And I said, "Bloody mess. Last time I saw you was, gosh, 8 years ago in 1985. And they were like, "Holy shit, how do we forget a guy named Bloody Mess? Of course we remember you." Because I wrote to them back in the day, and then I met him in 85, and here I am in 93, showing up at this club in the middle of Bloomington, Illinois. We hung out for a while and talked, and then after the next set, if there was a break, if there was another break, I don't think there was, after they were done playing, I walked up to the guys and I said, "Hey, man, do you have anywhere to stay tonight?" And those guys said, "Not really. We're probably going to get a room or something like that." And I said, "Save your money, man. Just follow me 45 minutes to Peoria and you can stay at my crib. And we can drink and listen to rock and roll like Buddy Holly and Wanda Jackson and Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis and Little Richard and, you know, all those guys." And those guys talked about it for about a minute, and they're like, "Yeah, man, let's go to your house. So that saves us a bunch of money." And I said, "I'll feed you too if you want. You're hungry." So they followed me home. My wife had no idea that I was bringing these guys home. We showed up there probably, it was pretty late because they were playing a club, remember. So we got there pretty late. And once we got there, maybe 11 o'clock at night, I'm going to guess, 10, 11, 12. I don't remember what time it was. I think it was more like 9 or 10 or 11. But we got back to the house, and she was delighted. Tracy was bored out of her skull. She's a total rocker like me. And she's like, "Yeah, man, let's party." So we did. We had a bunch of beer, some weed, and we had a stack of records and CDs. And I told Dexter ROMWEBER, "Make yourself at home, dude." And Crow, the drummer, I said, "Hey, let's talk. Let's hang out." So me and Crow and Tracy sat at the kitchen table, drinking, smoking up, and listening to music, which was being DJ'd from the living room by Dexter ROMWEBER, and he played a lot of Jerry Lee Lewis that night. Now, one of his favorites is Buddy Holly for sure, but he loves all those 50s icons. But I had a great Jerry Lee Lewis box set called All Killer, No Filler. Of course, I don't have it any longer, but he played that thing all night. We drank, we got very sloshed, and I do not remember what time we crashed, but we crashed really late. But man, I got to sit there and talk to those legends about how they started, where they came from. You know, the last time I'd seen him in 85 in Chicago was upstairs in the dressing room of the Cabaret Metro, and they were with other bands, which if you watch that other video, you'll find out. But it was killer, man, because they were super friendly to Tracy. They were very respectful to her. They were cool that I had a daughter that was sleeping. We kept the music down to a minimum. I mean, she wasn't going to wake up. She was the kind of kid that never woke up once she went to sleep. So that allowed for lots of parties on weekends with mom and dad, knowing that our kiddo was was quiet, sleeping, and checked on regularly, of course. But yeah, man, Dexter kept playing that 50s stuff and 60s stuff, but mostly the 50s and late 50s rock and roll. And man, I remember him with his eyes closed and like losing himself in the music, like he was really, really relating to this. This guy ate, drank, and slept rock and roll. And sadly to say, Dexter ROMWEBER passed away last year in February, and that was a very sad day. But I did a tribute to him on the Church of Rock radio show. And there's nothing like Dexter ROMWEBER and the Flat Duo Jets. Please subscribe to my channel if you would. Leave a comment, and it wouldn't kill you if you left me a like or with a thumbs up down there. It doesn't cost any time or energy. Thanks for being here, man. I sure do miss old Dexter ROMWEBER, but I'm still a huge fan of the Flat Duo Jets. They appeared on the David Letterman show once. You can find that on YouTube. Yeah. And like I said, man, you can find my other story right here on this channel. I'll talk to you guys in the next day, 2 or 3, depending how I feel. Adios, amigos. Thanks so much for all the nice well wishes on Facebook, Instagram, email, and YouTube comments. I appreciate all you guys very much. Adios.